The question, oldest age itself, what is love? Most people don't love each other. They cling. They don't connect, they control. They confuse comfort with connection and security with ownership. Love is freedom and a mirror, meaning it reflects who we are, not what we can control. But in today's world, love becomes another form of domination, not liberation. Now, with all that being said about love, first question, do you think people actually love each other or just depend on each other for comfort and security?
I think I think there is more percentage of the people depending on each other for comfort and security, where versus, in our growing up days or older days, I think it was more of real love based on value and them really loving the person and sticking it out.
What do you think about the phrase control is fear wearing love's costume? Control is a wolf in love's clothing. What do you think about that phrase? Take your time.
Okay. What I think about that phrase is sometimes I don't think some people don't even know that they're doing it. I don't think they know that they're operating in fear or control. I think they'll say like they care and they'll use, I'm doing this because I'm care for you. I'm trying to hold on to you, but it's definitely operating out of fear, and fear and love cannot operate in the same space.
That's true.
Yeah.
Are people afraid of losing love or are they afraid of losing control?
They definitely afraid of losing control. Because again, it goes back to the fear. If you really love, you're not operating in fear. So you don't fear what you love. You love it and you allow it to be. You experience it. Where fear, you're definitely doing it. You don't want to lose control, but love changes. And as love changes, control can't handle it.
What do you mean love changes?
During time where people love someone, when you love someone, you're going to constantly be evolving. You're going to constantly be growing. You're going to constantly be moving forward and becoming all that you're supposed to be. I love to say the best version of yourself.
Right.
And as that change, love allows that to happen. As I just said, it's an experience. But if you're trying to control it, you can't handle this person is changing. You can't handle because you have no more control on what you thought, what it was, because you're not experiencing the growth. You're just trying to hold on to a version of them that they're outgrowing.
I like that right there. And that made me think of, most of the time people try to see you how they see you in their mind, what they got of you in their mind, whether good or bad. Mm-hmm. And any time that you don't conform to that or you go outside of the boundaries of what I got in my mind or who you are, then because I love the person that I got in my mind, not actually just you, not really just you. I love the person that I got in my mind, the idea that I got in my mind of you. That's what I love. And once you kind of break that one of those boundaries, she did this or he did that, then I'm questioning, do I really love you? I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you feel we have to pursue love? Why do we feel that we have to own it?
I think it's very animalistic, first of all. But because I think that ownership feels safer than insecurity. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't trust love. We try to cage it, not realizing that what's real doesn't need to be caged, So I think ownership, we like ownership. We humans. We want to own you. I bought this car. I proposed to this woman. This is my wife, I take care of this woman. I provide for this woman. Mm-hmm. This is my woman. I own you. What do you mean? It's 2025, 2026. I need your location. Mm-hmm. I need the tracking on your phone always need to be on your location off. Why your location off? No, I'm calling you. Where are you? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And so really, that's a mental issue, slippery slope type of person that you're dealing with. If they need to know your location, and they do, they need to know your why is your location off? Why is it not okay? Why is it not okay if you're not in the wrong? If you're just at work, why is it not okay if you're just at work? You see? Yeah, it should be okay to have your location on, right?
Well, okay, so there's nothing wrong, I feel like, with locations and people are into sharing that and doing all of that. That's a lot of energy to have
It's a lot of energy.
to have to be had, I need to look at your location when I should just be able to operate in trust and just ask you and feel confident in what you said, or, like, it's just different. It's a freedom. Love is freedom. And I think we was talking about it with the flower, you know what I'm saying? Or I plain it, you can have a flower, but if you hold on to it tight like this, and that sounds controlled, ownership, more of control. It can smother that. If you hold a flower like this, it's dying. It's dying, it's gonna kill it. But if you allow it room to grow, to breathe, to experience sunlight, I think that's true love. I also think it's okay though for you to want your flower over here in this pot with these boundaries around. I'm just saying.
That's good.
I also think that's okay, and to have limited access, to have access to can see the beauty, but the flower don't need to be uprooted and keep planting in different places. It's okay, and I think that part may relate to ownership a little bit. It's okay for you to allow that. You can plant your flower where you want to plant it, but still allow it to breathe, have sunlight, be watered, and all the things that it needs. I think that's a difference, and sometimes people confuse the two.
I agree with that. Is ownership involved with love in any type of way? Write your comments. I want to know what you guys think. But is ownership involved in love? I mean, you gotta go to the courthouse. If you propose, you go to the courthouse, you get a marriage certificate to say that you guys are legally married. And then if y'all want to go to the church, do a ceremony, that's on y'all, whatever you want to do. But are y'all legally married? I just wonder, how do you feel? Do you think that ownership is involved in love in any way?
No. But let me say why. Love and ownership. Okay, yes, we have the certificate and everything, but we're one. We're a partnership, not possession.
Right.
That's why I would say no. Yeah, you're mine, I'm yours, that's me. You know what I'm saying? I am him, we are one. That's my partner, that's my love. That's however you want to title with people, whatever their person. I think that's the new saying, that's your person. But their love is partnership, not possession.
We're married, I'm not your partner. I don't mean no harm, I'm your husband. No, I mean it in real life. I'm not your partner. Partners do like partner in like crime, or they do the crime together.
Okay.
We don't do the crime together. Okay, I go commit the crime, I bring the goods back, right? Yeah. We're not partners, and I don't mean it in any kind of way. I just want that to clarify that right away. We're not partners.
I'm just saying that.
Yeah. But now I'm definitely in deep love with you now.
Okay, but what I'm saying, the point I'm trying to make when I say partnership is that I'm not a possession. There is no ownership. It's more, I honor you, I respect you, you honor and respect, we love each other. That's what I mean when I'm saying partnership. I just,
Yeah, no ownership. Yeah,
it's not that.
No. Any party could at any point leave or whatever they want to do. And I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about anybody in a real loving, committed relationship. Love is freedom.
Right.
Okay. But love, don't let love play yourself. Don't play yourself talking about love though. Like, hey, I'm gonna go take a trip. I love you and I want you to know that I'm gonna go take a trip with Sally Sue. She my girl, my friend girl. And since I love you, I don't want you to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to lie to you. And then when I get back with Sally Sue from the trip, then I hit you up and you done moved on. I thought you loved me. You see what I'm saying? People do that and handle themselves any kind of way. But
That I don't think that's love. But see, that's the thing with modern day time. People are like you mentioned before. People are more being codependent, and you know what they can get out is love is more. You said this before. More love is in their eyes, which is not true love. It's more of a transaction.
Yeah, transactional love. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a big thing
Right.
these days. Transactional love, and it's real. You know, he loved her for the time being. She loved him for the time being, and for what it was worth or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it was worth. And yeah, transactional love is a real thing. Now, I wanted to know, what did you think about this phrase right here? You only love others to the degree that you've learned to love yourself. What do you think about that?
You only love others to the degree of that you love yourself. That makes sense because you're going to attract what you are. You're gonna, I'm big on saying there's this like an imaginary or there's a spiritual realm. You're gonna vibrate at a certain level. You're gonna attract. There's universal laws, positive, negative, this and that. So when I hear that, I think about all of that because loving you and loving yourself to a certain degree, you want to attract. You see your reflection in the other person or people that you love.
All right. And so, since you took it there with the reflection, what about a lot of people break up? They don't break up because of incompatibility. They break up because they don't want to face themselves. Meaning, you pressed me about, hey, you know this. Hey, you do that. Hey, you ever noticed that this and maybe we should, you know what I'm saying, work on that, or do you think that's fly or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, I'm getting frustrated with you holding this mirror up to me, showing me myself. I don't want to hear all that, and I want to break up.
But then that kind of goes with the level of maturity and where their mentality is. We heard the sayings, iron sharpens iron, the diamond in the rough and all that stuff. When somebody who says they love you hold up a mirror, that is them showing you how much they love you, because even though they're holding up that mirror, they love all of that. You choose to correct it or not. But if you're on a defense and it frustrates you and you can't look at it and stuff, then that's you. I would personally want to be separated from that person, let you get that to mature to the person you need to be, because where I'm at maturity, I can handle that. I want to be told. I want to be better. I want to be you know what I'm saying? So I want to be sharpened, So yeah, I just think that's a lack of maturity and the mental.
I brought that up because that's going on in probably 90% of relationships.
Absolutely.
You see, and especially once you get past it, what would you say, a year, 2 years? Once you get past 6 months, you know what I'm saying? Once you start fake breaking. Now, me personally, I've said on the pod in the past, many pods ago, that I'm skipping the first year and the first 6 months. I'm letting it be known who I am right away.
I think that's the best way to go.
Off the top, we ain't gonna play. I'm finna poop around you. I'm finna eat how I eat around you. I ain't finna cap around you. Whatever you don't like about me, I kind of don't care. You know what I mean? Because at this point, I think love is complete. Like, two incomplete people coming to the table and trying to do the love thing. That's where you get your domestic violence relationships. All your arguing, your toxicity relationships, your baby daddy, baby mama situations going on. They can't get along at all. That's where all that come from. And I don't think people, to go back to the top of what I'm talking about, the first statement I made, I don't think people love each other or know how to love.
I mean, I definitely think that's going on with majority, especially just period, especially in today's time. And you don't see the examples of true love. You see quitters, people who, this is not, I hope nobody gets upset with me, but you see quitters. You see people having 3, 4, 5, 6 spouses. You know what I'm saying? Soon as it get a look, whatever it may be, you the person holding up a mirror or the person anything, they are ready to quit. You don't see those examples of longevity existing in relationships. You just don't. All you see, I'm just saying more now, more of, because there are some, but it's more of, I'm calling quits, toxic, control, all that low vibrational stuff.
Yeah, people rather call it quits than, like I just said, than to, face themselves and or work on themselves, do the work, admit to, flaws. You know what I mean? People break up. Okay, I don't want to be the best version of me, and that's what people at with it, and that's why I say people don't love. Now, I got a good question for you. I think you're gonna like this one. Do you think women or men are more controlling in relationships, or is it equal but expressed differently? I repeat, do you think that women or men are more controlling in relationships? Take your time.
I think people try to say it would be men are more controlling, but I disagree. I mean, it can be both, but I would say women are a little bit more controlling than men. Women are emotional creatures. They're more insecure. They're going to be more, you got more of the competitive spirit among each other when it comes to women. You got more. So when they have something, they probably are going to be the ones that operate and more in being possessive and controlled. If I had to just guess, I would think it'd be more women, although I think people like to say it's the men.
Well, it's magnified with men because of the physicality. When it gets bad with men, it's the worst. So you hear more of those stories opposed to Sally Sue is, got a battery in his back. And as soon as he get to work, when I was young, working at the chicken house, and there was this old cat, and I remember when I first started, somebody told me, man, he got to check in with his wife every time as soon as he get to work. On the, back then they still had the phone on the wall.
Yeah.
He had to use the phone on the wall to check in. We was at the chicken house, okay? He had to use the phone on the wall to call his wife so she could get the call ID from his job, because I guess he had already been that unfaithful at some point. Once it reaches that, once I gotta do all these, all these conditions and ultimatums, I don't do ultimatums. I'm a man. I'm trying to follow God. And so if I make a drastic mistake like that, and that's what end up being an ultimatum, I'm out of there. I can't just be caught. That's crazy. That ain't love. That's control.
So women do operate out of fear. Men, when it comes to control, and men operate with control out of ego. Women operate out of fear. So I was going to ask you, what did he do to bring that fear? But
I don't know. I think he had banked, knock somebody down. Yeah.
Okay, so, but either way, it doesn't
He wasn't at work.
Either way, it doesn't matter, because when it gets to a point that love is freedom, you're not free with that type of, if I got to do all of that, and that's the thing I don't like when it comes to women. Women will, one thing about a man, when a woman cheat, he done. He ain't finna do it. But women will say that we are forgiving you and don't forgive you. But if you forgive them, I'm talking about really forgive. You have to operate in forgiveness like God would look at forgiveness. Like, you expect God not to see that sin no more, then you need to give that man that same forgiveness if that's what you're saying you're going to give him. But if you're not going to give him that forgiveness and you're going to constantly bring it up and you're going to resent this and he got to be on these chains, that ain't freedom for you or him. And no, that's toxic, and you need to let go and let God.
Can we just run through a scenario real quick? Everybody knows the scenario. He cheated. They talked it out. She really wanted him to come back. He's probably a good guy. She says she can forgive him and she can find a way in her heart to forgive him. She wants him back though. Okay, yeah. Whether they got a family or not, I don't know. You know what I mean? We don't got to include that. But, well, let's just say they got a family.
Okay.
My goodness. Okay, what do you mean by she says she forgave him, but she didn't? What do you mean?
Ooh, what that may look like. Okay. You know how they'll say, I forgive you, and you come home, but the first time you don't pick up, The first time a girl walked by that looked like
Oh,
a
you with that?
representation that you acting different, you got an attitude, or your mind. I mean, I'm just being honest. Women mind lock up on them. They could be at home chilling and she just thought about he was having sex with her like this or something, and they just get to tripping. Like, that's still not freedom. And that's not forgiving. That's not forgiveness. That's not forgiveness. You have to like really be willing to fight yourself when that thought, like, be you, when the thought is going to come up, because it's something that you experience. We're emotional creatures, as I just said. And so we're going to feel certain stuff, but you have to be able, and I hate to keep bringing the Bible in it, but you got to be able to cast down them vain imagine, you know what I'm saying, them thoughts and negativity. You have to be able to have that. And if you don't have that, you need to work towards that, because if you're not willing to put that work in for the man you say you love and that you forgive, then why are we even doing this?
I'm glad that you brought the Bible in. Yeah, that's a great point. I had to ask that because men get a lot of blame, and men being the wrong. Men lie a lot. Men lie a lot, and we'll tell women what they want to hear sometimes, and we'll say that we love you. And like I said earlier, go back to the top. I just don't think people know how to love now. Going to our last segment, unconditional love. The only love, right?
I just was going to ask, before we go into the unconditional love segment, I was mentioning how women are supposed to be forgiven, or most women are more forgiving, and the man usually get out of there. Mm-hmm. Because you're a man, I wanted to ask you, why is that, or what do you think about that?
Oh man, thanks, man. I really appreciate that question. That's a wonderful question. It was said to me by wise men that women are internal creatures and that they only part for one of two reasons: emotional connection. She likes him, she feels him, and she, you know what I'm saying? She's into him. This is a deep emotional thing for women. Sex is normally, if the Lord's will. And or she's a whore. And so that's why men leave and are not able to deal with it, because he knows deep down she really likes Rick, man. I can't believe she opened up to Rick and say she been busting Rick down for a while. I had to find out. It wasn't like she came to me. I had to find out. And she's an internal creature, so he was inserting her, okay? And either she really likes Rick and the way Rick make her feel, or she's a bust down. Either way, I have to leave because it's one or two things going on. And I'm not included in those one or two things, okay? She can come home to me with the used joint, what are you supposed, right? Do you see? And so that's why men normally get out of there, even unbeknownst to them. Men might not even know how to articulate that, but just his mind know. She emotionally opened up to him. This wasn't just her heart. This was this wasn't just her body. This was her heart and her mind as well. Okay, because good game can take some underwear off of women. It really can. You sitting there doing it, it really can. You know what I'm saying? That this guy right over here can be real ugly and know how to talk real good and got a couple dollars and know how to smell, and now he busting down, your old lady. And so you do need to get out of there. And that's why men get out of there. And women stay because men don't even remember her name. Mm. And the woman know that. The woman know this was just a thirst sport for her man. Mm. Yeah, it's just my man was just outside, just, you know what I'm saying, big,
You mentioned like you had to find out, she didn't come tell you. So if a woman go and be direct and honest with the man, is there a possibility the man gonna stay?
I would advocate for the male to leave once the female has been penetrated and inserted by anybody other than himself, period. Rather, how if she came to you honest, you see if they tell you, look, sir, we're gonna give you life because somebody dead. That's how men take it, okay? Somebody dead, we're gonna give you life, but we won't give you the electric chair, or we won't give you the death penalty. If you go ahead and come clean now, okay? Everything, the situation's still dead.
Right.
Okay? The situation's still dead. You need to get out of there, guys. Do not respect her honesty. That is insane. That's insane. I don't mean no harm. Yeah. It's a great question. I really appreciate that. Now, moving forward to what unconditional love in practice may look like. Is unconditional love realistic?
Yes. I think unconditional love is selflessness, and it definitely is realistic.
It's something that can be achieved by human man, regular man. When I say man, I'm talking about man and woman. It can be achieved by humans, unconditional love.
I think so.
Okay.
It's just that we see so much of a conditional love that it makes you think it's impossible. But when you look at what true love is, or what love is really, what it really is, yeah, it's possible. The possibility of me loving you unconditionally exists.
Like without condition, men truly think, and old wise men say, that no man is loved unconditionally. Okay? If he busted and disgusted, she out of there. I'm sure some women will stick in there for a year or so or some time, and because she might really have emotional feelings for him, and she might feel a way for him. But she's out of there. I always thought that men were the people that loved unconditionally. Men and mothers. That's what I always thought. That men can love a woman without condition. She works at Walmart or McDonald's. It doesn't matter. Without condition, okay? Seen her, oh man, I was struck immediately by her beauty. She was at the Jack's drive-thru, okay? And she was one of them. And I took her out of Jack's without condition, okay? Mothers, of course, my mother, I got a mother. And she truly, I can tell you, I can speak for her. She loves me and Andrew and Q Harvey without condition. I can speak for her, okay? And that's what I think about unconditional love, other than God.
I think unconditional love can exist for a woman to love a man. It's just not always good for a woman to work on just love.
That's what I'm saying. See, it's not even, it wouldn't even be good.
Because for many reasons, a woman can love this man who is busted and disgusted and got nothing. She can be so in love with him.
Drag herself.
But what is that going to do for her? That's why I feel like the Bible didn't command us to love our husband. He said to respect husbands. Husbands are supposed to love us. But of course, with respect, love is going to come. But I think there was a reason for that. Yeah. So I do think it's possible women can love, but it's not always good for a woman to act on love. Not like that. Like if you do get a person that protects you and loves you and you love them back, you are blessed. I'm just saying you are a blessed woman. Years ago, they did arranged marriages and the woman still had to respect that man and love came. It was more of that. So again, if you end up loving back then your spouse, you will still consider blessed. But women, we're not supposed to operate on love. It's not good for us. We're supposed to be protected. We're supposed to be guided and led and, those type of things. And that's just what it is. So, yeah, it's possible, but is it good?
That was a wonderful soliloquy. Thanks. That was a lot of value. That was major.
That was major.
Yeah. What's one way couples can practice giving each other more freedom without fear?
Oh, I would think that particular one would probably be hard because it'll probably be based on situations of what that looks like for that person, what does fear looks like for them, what does freedom look like for them. You see what I'm saying? So I would say that's based on that, but I would say start with just not operating in fear, period. In your own, like if you're not in a relationship right now and you're a single person, practice right now not being in fear with yourself. it's going to make it easier to be freedom with someone else. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't operate in fear anyway. You see, like, yeah. So I would say start there. Just don't operate in fear. Anything that feels or low vibrational negativity, just not making you, I don't know, just don't operate in fear.
Since you brought that up, sometimes in relationships, I can't imagine myself doing this, but I can imagine that some people may fear telling their spouse what they fear. Like, hey, I fear you going out with Bobby Earl because Bobby Earl a hoe and you know that, you know what I'm saying? I feel once we got together, you and Bobby Earl, when y'all went outside like that now, and now we've been together a while and you want to start going back out with Bobby Earl. And that scares me. I think that people should let people know what they thinking.
Yep, absolutely. I think they have made it popular for women to be so strong and so independent and all this masculine energy that women hold. But I definitely think it is very good for a woman to be vulnerable and let your husband know you're emotional for a reason. Let him know what you're feeling. Don't hold it up and try to act tough. You know what I'm saying? You can let the other person know. I think that's always good.
I think assurance can sometimes be the job of both male and or female in the relationships. And I think security is the job of the individual. Yeah. It's not my job to help you through your insecurities, but I can give you reassurance and assure you that me and Bobby Earl, and maybe I shouldn't be going out with Bobby Earl. I mean, maybe Bobby Earl is a hoe. I think that's a good way right there, a good start to open up to your spouse and try to realize that it's you. You're the one that feel a way about what your spouse doing. Your spouse didn't cause any reason to have distrust. That was you. Yeah. Now, what do you got in closing?
In closing, I would say just remember love is not possessive. It's participation. It's an experience. It's to feel like freedom and growth, not chains and control.
That's good. I got in closing, love without freedom is a cage, even if it's a beautiful cage. And most people today don't want love. They want a hostage who makes them feel safe. But safety without sincerity isn't love, it's control. If love is truly a mirror, then maybe it's time to stop trying to polish the other person and start cleaning our own reflection. And that's what I got.
That's major.
Happy anniversary, babe.
Happy anniversary.
I love you.
Love you too.
Yeah, guys. Like, subscribe, and we really appreciate you. If you want to, true audience members, true core members, we really appreciate you guys. I think this will be our second full year, this year. So thanks, guys, and that's major.
That's major.